Hey everyone, and welcome as we continue our study through the New Testament Gospels, looking at the 250 events in the life of Jesus. And today we're going to be looking at Jesus telling the parable of the 10 bridesmaids, and this comes from Matthew 25 verses 1 through 13. And if you watched yesterday's video, Jesus talked about watching for his return, and this is a parable to follow up. He spent the entire chapter of Matthew 24 talking about and warning about his return and being watchful, how to be watchful for it, not wait till the last minute. And so then he gives a parable in Matthew 25 about that. He follows that up with a parable. And so starting with Matthew 25 verse 1, it says, "Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The 5 who were foolish didn't take enough oil for their lamps, but the other 5 were wise enough to take along extra oil. When the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, they were aroused by the shout, 'Look, the bridegroom is coming. Come out and meet him.' All the bridesmaids got up and prepared their lamps. Then the 5 foolish ones asked the others, 'Please give us some of your oil because our lamps are gone out.' But the others replied, 'We don't have enough for all of us. Go to a shop and buy some more for yourself.' But when they were gone to buy oil, the bridegroom came. Then those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was locked. Later, when the other 5 bridesmaids returned, they stood outside calling, 'Lord, Lord, open the door for us.' But he called back, 'Believe me, I do not know you. So you too must keep watch, for you do not know the day or hour of my return.'" So again, he's following up the message from yesterday, or from what we looked at yesterday, with this parable, saying, "Hey, this is what the kingdom of God's going to be like." And so this is a parable about a wedding. It's a wedding feast, and some of the customs in that day. On the wedding day, right, the bridegroom went to the bride's house for the ceremony. Then the bride and groom, along with a great procession, they returned to the groom's house, where a feast took place, often lasting a full week. There was usually a huge celebration with weddings. These 10 bridesmaids were waiting to join the procession, and they hoped to take part in the marriage feast. They wanted to be part of this, but they were waiting for this to come by. It says, "But when the groom didn't come at the expected time, 5 of them went out, or ran out, or were out of lamp oil." It says, "By the time they had purchased extra oil, it was too late to join the feast." So when Jesus returns to take his people to heaven, I'm sorry, we must be ready. And so that's what we're looking at here. Spiritual preparation cannot be bought or borrowed at the last minute. So that's one of those things, right? No one's going to get into heaven because I'm extra spiritual and so it rubs off on this person over here. We all have to be ready. And there's a lot of people who are not prepared. There's a lot of people who are waiting. Oh, I can wait till the last minute. Or a lot of people who think, well, I got plenty of time to get right. I'm going to live the life I want to live right now. And they never know. I mean, they never know when their time's come. They never know when Jesus is going to return. And so the thing we have to realize is that our relationship with God must be our own. All right, no one's getting into heaven because their grandma or their grandpa or their mom or dad were really good Christians, or really good followers of Christ, any of that kind of stuff. And so we have to be prepared, right? We can't be half prepared. We can't, fall asleep, as they say. Don't not not be prepared, fall asleep, and then wake up and at the last minute think we're going to be able to be ready, and then go knock on the door. Right? When we go and knock on the door, we're not ready. It's like, look, I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are. And you don't want to be put in that situation. You don't want to be in that situation. And so the main focus, and again, this is a short video, this is a short parable. The main focus of this lesson, the main point of this lesson, is not to put things off to the last minute, not to not be spiritually prepared for when Christ returns. There's a lot of us who, we claim to be Christians, we call ourselves Christians, but we're not doing what we're called to do as Christians. Right? We're not doing what Jesus has called us to do. And so we need to be prepared for what God has called us to do. There's a lot of things, right? We just talked about the greatest commandments: love God, love your neighbor, right? Treat others the way you want to be treated. But there's more to that. Like, if you love God and you love your neighbor, then you're going to be working to bring others to Christ. You're going to be doing those type of things. And so that's what we're called to do. That's who we're called to be. And so that's what we need to focus on. And so I just hope that you take this little short lesson here, this short one, and use it to remind yourself, hey, I need to be prepared. I can't wait to the last minute. I can't put things off. I can't put following Jesus off. I have to be ready now and do this now. As always, I appreciate everyone for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to do these. I appreciate those who have followed along this entire time. We're, I think, 208, 209 days, something like that. Ian, I don't remember exactly. We're getting close to the 250. It'll be a little bit more than 250, but I do appreciate those who have followed along. I appreciate those who are sharing these and making comments. I appreciate the comments as long as they're tasteful, right? Even if they're in disagreement, I appreciate the conversation. It's fun to have those conversations and look at different ideas and different thoughts around different things in the Bible. So I do appreciate that. As always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that. We're going to continue to produce new content and push out, hopefully go into some deeper studies, different studies as we go through this. But like always, I appreciate everyone for watching.